So I feel like this great dispute right now between the more liberal and the more conservative camps and looks of life. And it's really approaching us. It's imminent in every single field, every single walk of life. And the worst thing seems to be that they can't really get each other. Each one thinks the other one is stupid, wicked, completely mistaken, or bad. And they don't really understand each other's claims. They don't really understand where the other one is coming from or going to. And I was wondering to myself whether maybe the Torah, the Hebrew Bible, has something valuable to teach us about this and how we can maybe approach a resolution. My name is Don Abraham. I'm a rabbi and a scholar of Jewish thought here in Jerusalem. And you know, when the people of Israel were walking through the wilderness, they had with them the tabernacle. It was kind of this prototype of the temple, the sanctuary that was later rebuilt in Jerusalem. And the special thing about it was that it was mobile. It was remote. It could be moved from place to place. And as they were wandering through the wilderness, they would take this shrine with them, disassemble it when they left a certain place, and rebuild it when they reached their next camp. Now you may ask, how can this be done? How can you move a shrine? So we know that there were 12 tribes of Israel. One of the tribes was the Levites, Leviim. Actually, the book of Leviticus, which is one of the 5 books of Moses, gets its name from this tribe. And the Levites were a tribe that was set apart and designated for the holy work, for the work of Hashem, the work of God. And one of their main jobs was moving this sanctuary from place to place. The priests, the Kohanim, would disassemble it, and the Levites would take all the different parts and carry them on their backs or on these wagons to the next camping place where they would rebuild the shrine. And the Levites had 3 branches of families, because I'm getting to the conservative and liberal part. They had 3 different branches of families: Kehat, Gershon, and Merari. Each one of them had a different job in this one holy work. The Kehatim would take and carry on themselves the instruments, the ark, the menorah or chandelier, and the holy table. Gershon, Bnei Gershon, would take upon themselves the tent itself and all its different sheets and all those parts. And Merari would take upon themselves the pillars and the bases of the pillars that build up the tabernacle. So I think what this is trying to tell us is that we need all parts. We need both people who carry the heavy load, the basis of our society, and the people who carry the more meaningful things, the inner, more interior things, which are more precious and holy. You can't have one without the other. If you just carry or rebuild the pillars and bases, then you have an empty shrine. And on the other hand, if you take only the holy instruments, then they're left out standing in nothing, and they can tear apart or just be exposed to the elements and so on. So we really need all parts. And I see this as a metaphor, a symbol for society. Sometimes you got to move your shrine from place to place. You got to move your conceptions, your values, your thoughts on holiness and on how the world should look from one generation to another, from one place to another, into a new reality. And when this is done, it's very important to have all these different parts, all these different pieces working together. Some people are responsible for the bases, for keeping the past, for conserving the good things that we already have into our new dimension. If you don't have those, you can just run forward and make a lot of awful mistakes without realizing it. On the other hand, we do need people who are like pioneers going forward and offering new values, new thoughts, and new ideas for our society so that we can rebuild it in the new place. You can't have one without the other, and the most important thing is having them working together. If they're set apart, if they're enemies, if they can't get each other, then no one is really doing their job. We're not building anything together, are we? You got to keep the dialogue, you got to keep the talk, and if you think the other one is mistaken, you have to give good claims for it. You got to really have a debate, because otherwise there's no talk, no dialogue, and no unity. On the other hand, if you do this, if you keep seeing what the other person is saying, responding in a real, honest fashion, and relevant fashion, and keeping the basic, which is the basic thing is love and unity among your crowd, then maybe we can reach a new world and rebuild a new shrine as humanity.